right, well, what's up, y'all? It is 2:05. We're gonna talk some rad designs, making rad designs with Brad. So I'd like to welcome you to the channel. If this is your first time, Brad Moser here, former physics teacher, high school physics teacher, and former technology integration specialist, and former director of blended learning. Now work for Cidi Labs. We make tools for Canvas. And through my career, I've learned a lot of ed tech tools. There are some on my short list. Cidi Labs was one of them, and I eventually joined them as a company. But what I still love to do is talk about technology and integrating tools into things like, in this case, like Canvas. And so today, I'm going to talk Canvas, and I want to share just some rad stuff that you can do in Canvas with Cidi Labs. So full disclosure, I work for Cidi Labs, but man, do I love these tools and do I love Canvas. So let's talk and let me show you a couple features that I want to show you from Design Plus in Canvas. And so again, let's just dive in. So I'm in Canvas and I'm going to go into my secondary course here. And you'll notice, hopefully you notice, this looks a little different than normal Canvas pages. We have a nice banner theme and headers and links and buttons and all this fun stuff. We even have like modules posted on the homepage. And with Cidi Labs, you can do a lot of really cool designs and not have to do a lot of coding. So I'm actually going to just pull the curtain back and show you how we do that, how you do that as teachers. This is a tool meant for you. Cool. So I'm just going to go to lesson 1 here, and we have a couple pages. I've already built out some templates, some templated pages, and I'm just going to tweak them a little bit and show you what I might do. So in this example, I have a template that already has a page that already has a template applied. So I got this cool like circle effect, and I got this header with the gray background. Notice I added some information about, this is my physics course. So I added some information about, just general information about science and what to expect in this class. And I added this cool picture, and I even put it a caption, but the picture and caption, I just want to format a little differently. So with our tools, you actually get access to this sidebar that pops up when you're in Canvas. So you can do some editing and all that stuff with Canvas. And then you can also supercharge it with our tools over here. So I'm going to select the image, and I'm going to use this little edit current element button. Here I have options to select the various elements that I can stylize. So the content block, the image plus caption, or just the image itself. So since I am going to come in here, I want to format this image. So when I select the image, then I have my content section and I have a style section. So I'm going to do a couple things to this image. First, I want to change the alt text because it says upload image, and it should say, pendulum. And I want to say, I'm actually going to do pendulum here for the caption as well. So I updated that. If you wanted to, you can just type right in here, pendulum court or whatever this picture is. You can type right into the rich content editor in Canvas, or you can use our sidebar to help out in those areas. So I'm going to select the image. I'm going to go to styles, and now I'm going to change the size of this image. Let's just make that, actually, I kind of like the size. Maybe I'll make it a little bit smaller. It's already floated to the right. I can see that. That's excellent. I will set this image to pop up if it's selected when it's in the page. So I'll show you what that looks like. Notice I have some options for my caption overlay. I can make it a light or a dark caption overlay. You know what? I kind of like the dark. And then you have some border options. And so if you just want a basic border, maybe you want a little bit of a rounded border, maybe you want a really rounded border, you can choose those options here. I'm going to do this sort of rounded border. So that looks pretty nice. We'll hit save. And in a few clicks, you can see I've adjusted the style on this image. And something you can do with our tools that you can't just do normal in native Canvas, I can click on this and boom, I get a little pop-up of that image. And it kind of darkens the screen. So that was pretty awesome. All right, so that's a little bit of style that we just, updated for this page. Let's check out another example. In this example, I don't have any content in here. I just have my templated, content. So I could come in here and edit the accordions or the panels, but I'm not going to do much on this page. Let me go to another page. Here we go. Again, I'm using a consistent theme. So I got my circle theme going on. And this is H2, header 2. This is a header 3. This is a header 4 when you look at the different domains, structure on the page. So this page is nice, but it's a bit long. When I scroll down to see the rubric, this page is a bit long. So one thing I can do is maybe I want to use a column tool. And instead of having this, go where you have this sort of information section, and then I have this material section, maybe I want to combine those into one section. So I'm just going to put a space in here in the middle. I'm going to come over here and I can search for the columns tool. You can use your recently used tools. So that's really helpful. When you use a tool here, it puts it up at the top. And I'm going to go ahead and just add a column into this page. So now I have this nice responsive column that's 2 columns wide. And if you notice up here, I have the option to edit the column. So I would like to, first I'm just going to cut this text. I'm going to put it into the page. Let's do this one over here. And then I'm going to cut out this material section, and let's grab all of it, and let's go ahead and just cut it and put it up here. And I just did a little cut and paste, and now they're in 2 columns side by side. So that looks kind of fun, right? Kind of nice. But I'd like to show you how the columns tool can be more helpful. So first, you notice I have materials on the left and I have this introduction text on the right. I think I want to flip-flop those. So instead of doing cut and paste like I just did, I could come to the columns tool, and in the columns tool, I can, select the row here, and the row has 2 columns in it. So I'm just going to grab the second column and move it to the front. And now I just flip flop those columns in the page. So that's really helpful. What's nice, another thing I can do if I wanted to add another row, I can come in here and I can add a second row here. So now I have that same column, this row here with 2 columns. I have the second row with 2 columns. And I can even do things like maybe in the second row here, maybe I want to adjust the column here to actually be like a 2/3 and 1/3 split. So you can even adjust individual rows or individual columns and change their sizes pretty quickly here. Let's select this procedure section and just pull it up and into the 2/3 row there. So I'm just going to go ahead and paste that. And maybe we'll grab the safety precautions and we'll dump it onto the side over here. Now I want you to notice something. I cut and paste. When I cut and paste, that leaves behind these sort of empty paragraphs. And what's really cool, Design Plus has this fun little button here, this little remove empty elements button. And I can use that to save me a lot of time on my pages. And I can click that button, and then you'll notice it removes all the empty blank paragraphs in the page and cleans that up for me in one click. So that was super helpful. All right, this is looking pretty good. I have my introduction paragraph. I have my materials floated over here. I got my safety procedures. What does this look like on the saved page? Before I hit the save button, which is way down here at the bottom, I can actually use Design Plus to preview the content. Boom! Now I can preview this content and see what it will look like when I save my page. So this looks okay. I don't know if I love this sort of, half split here and then 2/3 split. We might fix that here in a minute. But I can also reduce this down to like what a screen would look like if I was if I was using a phone. And so this is awesome. I can see that the material and the procedures, in the introduction, it all kind of stacked on top of themselves. So this looks really good on a mobile device as well as on a website. So that's really cool. That little preview content button helps me check the content, make adjustments. Maybe I want to come back to this columns tool here in this column and just make it, let's make it a half, right? Let's match that up. So that looks good. And we'll go back in and preview. I guess I could have left my preview window open. And we'll look at what does this look like on a full size, device. That looks a little better. I might even consider moving this conclusion or maybe this note up into this blank section here. But that looks a lot better and it's a little less scrolly for my students. So I love that. I love the design. And you'll notice that I'm even using things like a progress indicator down here. This progress indicator will actually render when you save the page, and you can get the preview of it down here. So you can see that there are three items in this module, and I'm currently on item number 3 here. That's why it's dark red. So these are cool little widgets that you can add thanks to Design Plus as well. All right, so that was pretty fun. Let's go on to the last thing I want to show you. If I go to the next page here, you'll notice I'm actually now in lesson 2. Now for lesson 2, I changed the color scheme for these little prefix bubbles to purple. And so I kind of want to just show you how I did that. And I guess I can use this page to do that. This is the discussion, but it's the same difference here. So if I open up my page and I go to edit, I click in the the item that I want to edit. I can come over here to the style section, and this is where you can see the various styles. In this case, I'm using the circle left theme, but there are a lot of options that you can kind of play around with in terms of your themes. But notice that my purple prefix is actually a custom color. It's my own personal color. I just wanted it to be a different color. So I'm going to show you how I made that happen. I will select this and I will come to the style editor. Now, if you don't see the style editor for those customers that are out there, you might go to your user settings and just make sure you've enabled your style editor as one of your options. But the fastest way to kind of edit this color is I click on the item, I go to the style editor, and you can come up here and you can hover over these little targets, and this will highlight on the page what it is that you're going to adjust. And so if you don't find the one you're looking for, in this case, I want this span right here. So I'm going to select the prefix span. That's going to be that whole circle. I can hover over it and you can see it kind of turns light blue. And now that I have that, I can come in here and I can do a couple things. So first, I wanted to just show you that we have the ability to add different fonts. So you can come in here and pick a fun font that you want for your little style editor, for anything on the page, just wherever your cursor is located. So I'm going to first find a fun font that I want to use. My caution would be, don't go crazy with the fonts. Just find one that you like and be consistent when you use that throughout your builds. So let's go ahead and just use this Bangers font as one of the options. And you can adjust the size and things like that. I'm going to scroll down and play with the border here. I don't know. Let's try and add a border. Let's say we're going to add a medium border at the top. You see that little black kind of border type? That looks pretty cool, actually. And you can adjust it with some of these various branding colors if you like. So yeah, that looks pretty good. I'm now going to come down, and in the color section, this is where I can come and add my own custom color. So you have your branding colors, but then you can also just come in here and get your own custom color that you would like to use. So in the instance that I have here, I've already picked a background color. And so if you keep scrolling down, you'll notice we have some accessibility checks here to make sure that you're using appropriate contrasts. But we can also pull in the colors from the page. You can pull in some local color sets. Maybe you have your own custom color codes that you're using. And you can also do recent colors. So this will give you a nice little recent color option. So there's my purple that I used earlier in the day. So I'm just going to use that same color so I can get that same consistency in all my pages. Play around with some padding. You can save these styles. You can even do a prefix, a title here, so you can save it. So the next time you want to adjust the prefix, which is what this little item's called, a prefix, you can just put the name in here. I did this earlier, so I called it purple. I think I called it purple round or something. you could save that. So instead of having to come and rebuild this, and let's say that this was a, some random color that you, excuse me, let's undo. This is a live demo, right? So let me undo. Boom, boom. What am I doing here? Undo, undo. I changed that number 2 on accident. So if I wanted to pick a random color for the background of this span, let's change it to that span. And let's say we picked this random red here. If you saved a quick style and you're on that same element, so for my title prefixes, you can come here and save those quick styles, and then you can quickly apply that colored style right to that object. And so you can save all these custom styles to really speed up the time it takes for you to design stuff, which is the point of the tools. Sometimes the tools, I get carried away wanting to design super custom things, and so it's awesome, but just keep it simple. So if I wanted to come down here and change the model, the progress indicator color, I can come over here, make sure I'm on progress indicator, and then select that purple from my recent colors or my colors on the page, and make sure that it's it's the same color as that little header. So, all right, guys, those are a couple fun things I just wanted to show you, leveraging the power of the Design Plus sidebar, being able to do some really cool custom stuff inside of the page. So that's a couple style editor features. 2 other items I was going to share. This is kind of a hidden gem. So let me go out of this page. So this is lesson 2, discussion 2. Notice that there are 3 items in this module. There's a page, there's a discussion, there's this assignment. So if I go to this assignment, normally what happens at the end of an assignment, right? At the end of an assignment in a module, at the end of a module, you have these next and previous buttons. Sometimes for students, especially littler students, you don't want them to go on to the next module and go into lesson 3. You want them to kind of be done and go back to the home page. So what I built on this page is a little like, hey kids, you're done with the this module's done. Click this button to go home. Or you can go check out the other modules, and then I embedded, some of the other modules into this page so they could, jump over to those lessons. So I wanted to just kind of rebuild this so you can see what that would look like. But I also want to hide the next button so that my students don't continue on into the next lesson. So I'm going to do both of those things. So let's start with hiding the next button. If you have Design Plus installed, you can come here to the target. You can actually use the attributes for a quick hide here. And if I come into the attributes and put in a class called KL_hide_next, if I put that on this page, on any class, so you just have to do it one time on any class. So I put it on this little heading tag. And I save the page, that is going to hide the next button. It didn't. Why didn't it hide the next button? It's supposed to hide the next button. Come on. Don't be silly with me. So live demo. Why is my next button? Am I not putting it in the right class? I might have to go investigate this. KL_. Yeah, hide next. All right, well, I may have to take a moment. It's not next hide, it's hide next. I'm quite confident. Classic. Look at me. I'm just Googling. I'm just Googling it. How do I hide that next button? It's in oh yeah, our hidden gems. Our hidden gems. So let's go to hidden gems. Thank you. So in Design Plus, we actually have some hidden gems. These are all additional classes that you should be able to add. Yeah, this is supported. Hide.next. So I pasted that. We'll have to come back and see what's going on there. So apologize that is not working. But that hide next button should be gone. We'll figure that out. Well, let's go to the last thing real quick and build out this module, this call out and this sort of module end. So you can see I've built it out here. It's in 2 panels. and I added a little gradient effect to the background. That's kind of fun. So I'm just going to go ahead and let's delete. Let's see. We're going to get this call out. We're going to take this tab. Let's delete this call out entirely. Bam. All right. So how did I build that? Well, the first thing I did is I added a paragraph at the end of my page here. So I created a little paragraph by using the action bar here. And then I inserted a call out. So a call out is just basically a block of code that, puts some color on the page. And I just changed the name to say, module end. And then instead of just saying, congrats students for completing this, lesson, head back to the home page for more, or whatever it is that you're doing. And I can come in and I can insert a link, and I can make that link, let's see, I can make that link one of our course links, and we can go to the home, make that a home button. And with links, you can use the little icon picker here, and we can search for lots of icons, but let's just find one for home. Oh, the bed. Okay. And I can turn my link. I can, make it open in a new tab, but I can come to the style here and I can make the link, one of my branding colors. So maybe I want to make it this nice little gray button. And when they hover over it, I want it to turn red. So now they got this little button that turns home, and let's make it a large button so they don't miss it. All right. So that's pretty slick. I have this little module end, and I got this, home button. But then I got to thinking, well, what if I don't want them to go home? What if they want to go to another module? Maybe they need to finish the work from module 1. Okay, so then I was like, all right, well, let's do that. But I want them to have this option to, go home or go check out some of the other modules. So then what I decided to do is let me build out an accordion here. So I added an accordion on the page. And in the first page, I took the that content I just created, and I pasted it into the first panel, and I called this home. And in the second panel, I called other lessons. And so in this one, I'm gonna actually paste another element that we have. This one's for navigation, called module list. This one's really nice because it will actually take and it will put all of my modules. You can see all my modules, and it will make a link to all of those modules. By default, it will link all the published modules. And so which is really helpful for my students. But I have a couple options for module lists. I can do things like show the first uncompleted module for the student. Or I can put some due dates, or not due dates, but date ranges, so that it shows the module based on the date range. Or maybe I want to manually set which is the active module. And when you choose one of these options, then it will highlight the color on the page for what they need to do. So for example, if I pick due dates or dates for this, maybe this module was last week, and this module is next, the week before or the week after, and then this is this week, and this module 4 will be next week. So you can see what we're doing here, right? The module will then be active based on this schedule that I just created, which is really cool. The next thing I can do is come down here, and I can even change what this looks like. So maybe on a large screen, I want the modules to be split up across three different columns. You can show which one's what is the active one. We'll make the active module, we'll call it red. And then I'm going to come down to the advanced section, and I'm going to do one other really cool thing, which is I'm going to use the quick links, and I'm going to say, hey, show the quick links for the modules. I'm going to use this little button tab here. So what that's going to do is it's actually going to make these little buttons so my students can click on the different lessons, the different modules, and see the items. And they're going to do that right here where this is saved. All right, last advanced feature that I wanted to show some of you all is I put my cursor, I'm going to put it back into this little call out here. And I'm going to change the background of that call out because I feel like if you look at this on the page, it's going to kind of get lost on the page because you got all this other stuff. You know, when this is filled out with actual content, then this is going to get pretty long with. Do I have content? I thought I had some homepage content stuff. Well, I can't remember it. Page content. Okay, I can't remember my little shortcut. So this is going to get filled up with tons and tons and tons of different text and whatnot. So so my module end might get lost down here. So what I want to do is just put a different I want a custom background color on that. And so I'm going to come here and I'm actually going to use the attributes button because I know how to write the code for a gradient background. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to hover over I think I want this call out, and I want the call out to have a background color. In this case, I'm going to do background image, and I'm going to do a linear gradient. And with that, I can do things like put some colors to have a linear gradient. In this case, I'm going to go linear gradient black to white. And you can see it puts this cool background effect across that call out. But I noticed the text is now a little bit wonky, right? That's not going to be very accessible. So if I come to the accordion background color, I can do background color of white, or I can go back to my little style guide here, go to my accordion background color, and where's my accordion? Let's go call out, yeah, in our card body here. Let's make our card body, should we make it white? Nope, that's not going to work. What do I want to do? I want to get my accordion. Oh, that's right. I want my panels on my accordion. I lost what I was doing here, folks. Background color. We're going to make this guy white for our panel, and then our call out. I overwrote our call out. So, well, this is hilarious, but hopefully you follow what I'm doing. What I'm trying to do, attempting to do, is get our card body. This is where I need to get rid of it. I just want to show you this cool gradient effect. Background image, background or linear gradient, and then you can put two different colors in here to get the linear gradient and the background color linear gradient. Wow, I need to undo. I need to undo. All right, I'm back. We're back. Taking my card body there, and I want my accordion background colors. Is that where I want it? That's where I want it. All right, so I got my accordion background color is white. I got my card background color is gradient, and all of that to just kind of create this fun effect with my little call out where I got this fun little background, gradient color, and I got the other lessons tucked away, but it doesn't take up a whole lot of your screen real estate. So that was the point. All right, I got a little sidetracked there. But there's a lot you can do and not have to do any coding minus the gradient, because that's kind of a special color. All right, fun times. It's still rad. Come on, that's still rad that you don't have to do a lot of code to build out some really cool stuff inside of Canvas. And what's also rad, and again, this is why I love Canvas, is Canvas lets you create these really rad HTML, CSS designs that make your course stand out and help your students get access to the stuff that they need quickly. It makes you look like a rock star, and yeah, just love it. So hope you learned something today. Hope you saw something cool. Go build and do some rad designs in your own school, own class, and I hope you have a rad day. Cheers.